All right, sir, are you Glenn Kendall?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Second. And Stacy, are you ready to proceed?
I am, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go on the record. This is a matter of Simmons versus Kendall, and this is file number Kalkaska County file number 11-10852. I'm conducting this hearing on behalf of Judge Boudet today. The record should reflect that Mr. Kendall is present in the courtroom in Kalkaska along with Ms. Leach from front of the court. Mr. Kendall, you're before the court today for an arraignment on a bench warrant for failure to pay child support. Do you understand why you're before the court today?
No, I don't. I understand this is a civil infraction, and I don't know why I'm being held on a civil infraction that is a payable debt.
Okay.
It's unlawful. It's unlawful to arrest somebody on a civil infraction that even the officers are saying this is a civil infraction that I should not be in here.
Okay, it's not a civil infraction, and there are criminal penalties for failure to pay child support. So the law says that you can be incarcerated for failing to pay child support for various reasons. So you're incorrect on your statement of the law there.
That's what I was told.
Well, you were
That it
told
was a civil
wrong.
infraction.
Okay, I'm informing you.
And your officers are even saying that it's a civil infraction.
Okay,
Child
if they
support
said that,
is- yes.
if they said that, which I'm not sure that they did, maybe that's what you heard, but that may not be what they actually said. I'm a circuit court judge.
The hearing begins with the judge confirming the identity of Glenn Kendall. Immediately, tension rises. The judge explains that Glenn is appearing due to a bench warrant for unpaid child support. Glenn pushes back, insisting he shouldn't be jailed for what he believes is a civil infraction. But the judge quickly corrects him. Failure to pay child support is not a civil ticket. It carries criminal penalties, including jail time. Glenn tries to argue that officers told him otherwise, but the judge shuts it down, establishing authority from the start.
I'm telling you that the law is, if you're found guilty of failure to pay child support, that's a contempt of court. If it's your first finding of contempt for failing to pay, you could face up to 15 days in jail. If it's a second or subsequent.
What I didn't understand about the whole child support is it's supposed to be a mediator between the front of the court is supposed to be a mediator between the two parents. It's not supposed to be a profit made upon two parents. And as long as a judge is taking the case, they're getting paid for it. I'm wondering why everything I've looked up and all the things like Elon Musk is saying that the front of the court right now is under suspicion of fraud, and that they were looking at that stuff. That's what I've been reading online. So how is it that all this is going on and I'm going to get arrested over a debt that's payable? How is that going to help me? With my wife is sitting out there now, who just ended up having to go to the hospital because she's having a breakdown, because we're both having a breakdown. And now I can't take care of her. I'm the one that gives her medical attention. I'm the one that gives her medicine to sleep at night. I'm the one that makes sure she eats every day like she's supposed to. I'm the one that's always with her. And now I can't even take care of my wife who's sitting there because I'm going to be in handcuffs and sitting in here. How is that going to help me to throw me in jail? Within 45 days, I get out and I'm gone again.
Glenn shifts from legal arguments to emotional ones. He claims the child support system is corrupt, referencing things he read online, even bringing up Elon Musk. Then he pleads his personal situation. His wife is mentally unstable, he's her only caretaker, and she just went to the hospital with a breakdown. Glenn paints himself as overwhelmed, broke, and barely surviving. His frustration grows as he describes living in a car or collapsing camper, trying to find work, and fearing that jail time will destroy everything he has left.
I mean, it's not going to help me any by taking away my right to be on the street and actually try to find a job, which I have been trying to do. I have stopped at Bear Trust. I have called all kinds of different places. My brother just said a True Frog and Gaylord is hiring. I'm trying to find a job. And I have no place to stay but my car and an old camper that's falling apart that I'm trying to fix. I don't know what to do. I'm trying to take care of my wife. I'm trying to take care of us, trying to eat, trying to anything. And she's saying I'm looking at 45 days right now. And I'm like, what is that going to do for my wife and that, who has no family to go to now because her rights were taken away from her children and stuff. So she doesn't have anybody that she can go to right now. And I'm the only one there to give her meds and do all that. So basically it's like, give up on life then? What? I'm supposed to be the next one to wrap a sheet around my neck and say, screw it, because I can't take care of my family. I'm no good for anybody. I'm locked up in here. It's not going to help me.
Okay.
I don't even know how she's doing right now.
Glenn spirals deeper into emotional distress. He talks about losing hope, even referencing suicidal thoughts, saying he feels helpless and unable to care for his wife if he's locked up. The judge stays silent, allowing him to finish, but Glenn is clearly desperate. He begs for any alternative to jail, offering to check in with job applications daily. His entire argument hinges on the belief that incarceration will only make his life and his wife's far worse.
The best bet for me to do is I have so many days to come back in here again with a job thing. Every day if I have to. Stop in here and give her a slip. This is where I filled out an application. Because once you lock me up, I mean, it's not going to do any good.
I'm just waiting until you're done because I do need to tell you what your rights are and so forth about how we're going to proceed. So can I do that now?
I'm just...
Okay. So as a parent of a child, you have an obligation to support that child financially. And that's what the friend of the court does, is ensure that parents are meeting that obligation, that legal obligation. And to that end, the court issued an order that required you to pay child support. When you fail to obey an order of the court, you get charged with contempt, and contempt is punishable. In this case, if it's a first finding of contempt for failure to pay child support, of up to 45 days in jail. If it's a second or subsequent, up to 90 days in jail. So that's the legal authority for the court to incarcerate you. You do have the right to have a hearing as to whether or not you should be found in contempt. You have the right to have an attorney present at that hearing. And if you want to have that hearing, then I would set a bond that you would have to post or remain in jail until we can have that hearing.
Can I also ask for a paternity test to be done? I want to know this kid is mine then. I've never had that done. I haven't seen her in 10 years. I have to, if I have to pay every time, I know I'm supposed to have rights to see my child. I don't even know what she looks like, Your Honor. I haven't seen my daughter in over 10 years. I have no clue even how pretty she is or how smart she is or anything. I don't even know what she looks like. I haven't seen my daughter. I don't even know her.
Okay, we're not going to deal with any of that here today. We're trying to figure out how we're going to go forward with this contempt charge. Let me ask Ms. Leach. Ms. Leach, do you have a recommendation? I mean, how did you want to go forward today? Did you want to proceed with the contempt proceeding?
The judge finally moves forward with procedure, explaining Glenn's legal rights. Glenn interrupts to ask for a paternity test, saying he hasn't seen his daughter in 10 years and doesn't even know what she looks like. The judge dismisses the paternity issue as not relevant today. The child support officer, Stacy Leach, then gives the background, Glenn's obligation, arrears, last payment, and inconsistencies in his story. She tells the court that while Glenn claims to be job hunting, she doesn't believe he's making real effort and recommends a finding of contempt.
I would, Your Honor. Would you like some of the background information that I have?
Yeah, please.
Mr. Kendall has a monthly obligation of $475. His arrears at this time are $8,915.05. Last payment we received on this case was in June of $289.88. I did speak with him this morning on the phone. He had told me that he at one point had moved to North Dakota to take a job out there. He claims that he didn't stay out there because the guy was abusive to his wife, but he came back here. He told me this morning that he's living in a fifth wheel camper that's really nice, that he's been doing some remodeling on it. He told me that he was given a car by his wife's mother. He did mention that he's gone to a few places to apply for work, but he also mentioned to me that he's been back in Michigan for about a month now, and the few places that he's told me that he's gone and looked for jobs doesn't seem to me that he's really putting out the effort to be out there finding a job. I mean, most people would be pounding the pavement every single day. We don't have anything that states that he can't work in any capacity. We don't have any doctor's note. We have nothing from him in that. We don't even have a good address for him at this point.
I don't have
We
an address.
would be asking for a finding of contempt. He has had multiple bench warrants on this case, but he has not had a previous finding of contempt. So he would be looking at the 45 days, and then I would just ask to leave the purge amount at the $2,400. That includes the $100 bench warrants cost, and that's what Judge Boudet had ordered on October 6th of 2025.
Okay. All right. So, and I'm not sure, Ms. Leach, how Judge Boudet handles these arraignment hearings, but unless Mr. Kendall wants to admit responsibility and plead guilty to the contempt, what I typically do is have it set for a hearing. So that would be my intention today. So, Mr. Kendall, those are your options. I told you what your rights are in terms of having a hearing before Judge Boudet, who is the assigned judge to this case.
The judge explains Glenn's options. He can request a formal hearing with an attorney or plead guilty now. Glenn, defeated, chooses to plead guilty. He insists he is trying to find work, but has no resources, no stable home, and a failing camper to fix. He keeps returning to the same fear. Jail will destroy the little stability he's holding on to. His voice cracks as he talks about losing his belongings and leaving his wife alone while he's locked up.